I'm pretty sure most believers have heard the phrase, once saved, always saved. But is that scripture or literature? Let's dig through these scripts and find out. This gentleman right here, John Calvin. Now, the idea of once saved, always saved sprang from his ideology. He lived during the 1500s and he believed that the elect or the chosen could never fall away. They could never be eternally damned. That once they were saved, that they always had a place in the kingdom. So this was never taught before him, and this idea sprang from him. Here we are in the book of John, chapter 10, and we're going to read verses 26 through 29. And the Debar says, "But you do not believe because you are not of my sheep. As I said to you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give them everlasting life, and they shall by no means ever perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand." So here we are in the book of Romans, chapter 8, and we're going to read verses 38 and 39. And the Debar says, "For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor messengers, nor principalities, nor powers, neither the present nor the future, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahuwah, which is in Mashiach Yahusha, our Master." See, scripture says it right there. Can't lose salvation. I know that sounds pretty comforting, but you get that when you isolate secular scriptures and you don't read them in their entirety in the full context in which scripture is given. So let's dig a little bit further, a little bit deeper into these scripts and see what the word truly has to say about the matter. So here we are in the book of Matthew, or Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. And the Debar says, "But he who have endured to the end shall be delivered." Why would I be told to endure if once I was saved, that I would always be saved? Yeah, that scripture is talking about that something can actually happen in between that time. Meaning a falling away could happen. So I'm told to endure so that the falling away does not happen. So here we are in the book of Hebrews, or the book of Abrim, chapter 10, verses 26 through 39. And the Debar says, "For if we sin purposely after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a slaughter offering for sins, but some fearsome anticipation of judgment, and a fierce fire which is about to consume the opponents. Anyone who has disregarded the Thurah of Moshe dies without compassion on the witness of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much worse punishment do you think shall he deserve who has trampled the Son of Yahuwah underfoot, counted the blood of the covenant by which he was set apart as common, and insulted the Ruach of favor? For we know him who has said, 'Vengeance is mine, I shall repay,' says Yahuwah. And again, Yahuwah shall judge his people. It is fearsome to fall into the hands of the living Yahuwah. But remember the former days when after you were enlightened, you endured a great struggle with sufferings. On the one hand, you were exposed to reproaches and pressures, and on the other hand, you became sharers with those who were so treated. For you sympathized with me in my chains, and you accepted with joy the seizure of your possessions, knowing that you have a better and lasting possession for yourselves in the heavens. Do not then lose your boldness, which has great reward. For you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the desire of Yahuwah, you receive the promise. For yet a little while, he who is coming shall come and shall not delay, but the righteous shall live by belief. But if anyone draws back, my being has no pleasure in him. But we are not of those who draw back to destruction, but of belief to the preservation of life." I mean, if falling away wasn't possible, that whole chapter should be blotted out. And if anyone falls back, you're not finna have no reward in the kingdom. You're not even finna be in the kingdom. Matter of fact, peep game on the kingdom you finna be in. All in all, family, salvation just isn't any isolated moment. It's actually a walk, and you have to walk it out. And faith isn't just a slogan, it's obedience lived out. Just like the book of Jacob or James says, faith without works in itself is dead. So with that being said, it's either from the scripts or from the lips. Shalom.